What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Not Today Fishing. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about deep winter fishing. I'm talking super cold temperatures, January, February time frame up here in the South Carolina, North Carolina. You're starting to get up into the this northern region of where these redfish are. They're still active. They're schooled up. But the main thing is that you've got to be able to slow down your presentation in order for you to get bit. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So up here in North Carolina, what we're experiencing is our air temperatures here lately have been really averaging somewhere in the 20s and into the upper 40s. So it's been pretty cold for us here lately. But our water temperatures have been getting even all the way down to 41 degrees in the morning. And that in itself is really going to change the activity of these redfish and how they're going to bite. They're not going to chase any kind of lure. They're going to just mosey along, or they're going to be set up on some kind of oyster point up in the grass in a covered area to where they've got their food and they've got their cover, and there's not much that's really going to push them out of there. So you're going to have to entice them to bite. So the first method I'm talking to you guys about is you want to find a reel with a lower gear ratio. So something that's going to take in less line as you crank. So one crank is going to take in less line as opposed to something that's a lot faster. That is one method that's going to help you slow down your presentation. That's going to help get you bit. The other one is that when you're working your lure, you want to make sure that when you twitch that lure, that you're not trying to pop it up super high. You're just going to pop it up a few inches off the bottom and then keep that rod tip up in the air with that slack kind of going out towards your lure. And then that way you have a little bit of tension on the line. You can still feel if the fish is going to bite or not. So you're just going to pop that lure off the bottom a few inches. So you're not going to try and work it really fast, reel in the slack, and then pop it again or do multiple pops. A lot of times you might just kind of pop, and then leave that rod tip in the air, reel in the slack, wait about 5 seconds, and then give it another twitch or two. It's slow going this time of year, guys. These redfish don't want to chase anything down. It's going to take quite a bit of patience to slow that lure down, especially if you are fishing in an area that you're not really necessarily sight casting those redfish, but you're in an area that you know that they are. Just slow it down. Now, when you're pitching to these redfish and you're actually sight casting them, you can see them and you're trying to put lures in front of their face. We try to take and cast quite a bit of distance ahead of them, figure out the direction that they're moving. Then we work that lure back to where they're going to cross paths with it. And then sometimes I'll literally just take the rod tip and just barely lift it up in the air to kind of drag that lure just across the bottom, get that redfish's attention, and then they're gonna swim up to it and they're gonna grab it. It's gonna be very subtle, but they're gonna grab it. You're gonna feel that chomp onto it, and then you can reel down and set the hook. And the next method, and quite frankly, this is probably the one that Kathy and I use the most when we've come across a stubborn school, is we start to, for one, we downsize our profile, which that's probably a separate video that we're gonna get into. But the other part is that if we're confident in the size and the profile lure that we're using, and maybe we think that it's falling just a little bit too fast, we're gonna change how that lure falls. So maybe a 4-inch jerk shad or a 3-inch paddle tail, but then we're gonna reduce the weight of that terminal tackle to get that lure to fall just that much slower. This is an 1/8 ounce Texas eye with a 4-inch jerk shad, and this works great too. But this sometimes falls just a little bit too fast, and especially here lately where we've been fishing for these redfish in like 20-25 degree air temperature, and then the other one, the water temperature was 41 degrees. That is extremely cold. These redfish are very lethargic. They're not going to chase it down, just like I mentioned earlier. So the big thing is to slow it down even more. We'll take this, what we believe is slow sometimes, and we'll swap it over to a belly weighted chin lock hook. Even then, the weight that's on the bottom of this will go even smaller, and we'll even reduce the profile down to a 2.75 or even a 3-inch profile, like a 3-inch swim bait. And that's gonna cause that bait to kind of fall more of like a straight down and forward, and less of a nose down down to the bottom. So this is going to really reduce the fall. And majority of the time, Kathy and I both find a lot of success where this lure, when we change it over to a belly weighted hook and we slow down the descent, we get hit more often than not. And this has really been our go-to, especially for those super cold mornings. All right, y'all, so that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Not very long, short, just wanted to get a tip out to you guys of how here lately we've been able to get hooked up with quite a few redfish. And that's truly just been slowing down our presentation. If you've got the confidence in what you're throwing, you got the confident bait and you're throwing that out there, maybe change up that terminal tackle just a little bit, reduce the speed of how that lure is going to fall down in the water column, and I bet you guys will be a little bit more successful. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and let us know. Also, comment down below. We love to interact with you guys. All right, thanks again. Appreciate you watching.